Hello Internet, and welcome to another one of those weird translations I do of my German videos. I had a couple of beers to loosen my tongue because I don't get to speak English in everyday life, and so it kinda helps when I get a little loose. Today I'm gonna show you what I collected over the last 30 plus years, and I'm gonna give you a tour of my extensive collection of video games that I have gathered by just being a crazy person, basically, for a long time, and I hope you get a kick out of it. And sometimes people say that videos like this are just to show off your stuff and to brag, but I actually had a talk with my insurance person lately, and they told me it is actually a very good idea to have videos of the things that are in your household, because if some drunk person ever burns down your house, it is always good to have like some kind of proof what was in there. Alright, so let's get started. Actually, we're gonna get started right here, which is the hallway of my place, and I like to keep the entrance weird, so when people come in, they already know they are dealing with a crazy person. So some of my favorite things: video games, comic books, books, CDs and DVDs, lots of stuff are here, so that people already know when they come in that they should know who they are dealing with. So here's Halo Reach and Mysteria Realms of Lore, which is a Sega Saturn title which I really loved. Here's Brothers for the PlayStation 4, a great game, amazing game actually. I want to play it again, but I need to forget the story first, so it might take another 10 years. I'm a big fan of multiplayer games, so this one, London 2012 Olympic Games simulation, was amazing to me. Very underrated gaming in my opinion. As I said, there's a lot of DVDs and Blu-rays and other stuff, but we're gonna keep the focus on video games. Right here there's the Beatles Rock Band, which combines two of my favorite subjects, video games and the Beatles, of course. One of my favorite games of all time. Lego City Undercover, more comic books up there. Yeah, huge DC comic books book collection that came out at the 25th anniversary of DC. I needed that. This is my like a big wardrobe, I guess that's the correct term, which my neighbor built for me. He's handy with tools, and his girlfriend painted it, put a toad on it to let people know who I am, basically. Up here we have more video games, especially Saturn Bomberman, which is like one of the most amazing multiplayer games that ever came out. You should buy it. Here's Shenmue 2, which never came out in North America for the Dreamcast. I love this game, I loved the first part as well, and I'm really looking forward to part 3 because I want to see that story to the end. Up here on the wardrobe there are different boxes. All of the boxes you see in this video have the consoles or whatever there is in them, because empty boxes I basically had to take to my parents' place and put it all in their basement because I ran out of space. And right here we have what I like to call the multiplayer room, and you are invited to come in. Right there you can see my air hockey table, which is not hooked up right now, and this is a big wall of video games. This is not all of the games I own, but yeah, I guess it's about 80% of the stuff I do own. I'm approaching 2,000 video games, physical copies only. If I counted download titles, it would be a lot more. Up there you see a lot of special editions, collector's editions, basically big boxes that I couldn't fit anywhere else. And right here you have like 2 Xbox 360s. I used to own 5. I think I still own them all, but they are all disconnected right now and in their boxes or up here. Yeah, more stuff for different consoles, big boxes. Up here there's a couple of movies or animes. I actually like to put everything I own that has any connection to video games up here. Like Sword Art Online on Blu-ray, great anime series which has like a video game storyline. Alright, so let's check the games themselves, and down here we're gonna start with Nintendo Entertainment System, followed by Virtual Boy, and then there are a lot of games for the Nintendo Wii. As I said before, I love multiplayer games, so I have a lot of Wii games. After that there is a lot of PlayStation 2 games. All of these, by the way, are European or PAL copies. Like 95% of what I own are games from this territory. Here are my handheld games: Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and then we're gonna switch to the Nintendo DS. And I actually do own quite a few Nintendo DS games, and I have quite a few Nintendo DS systems as well. Next is one of my favorite consoles of all time, and that is the Sega Dreamcast. Actually, those European cases suck, they break so easily. But anyways, I spent a lot of time with this system, especially on Phantasy Star Online. Hundreds of hours basically. Down here there's Sega Master System games, which was never popular in North America, but over here it was like a great alternative to the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now we have my original Xbox games, and as you can see here, and this is a trend that will continue, I own quite a few of them a couple of times, because I always used to own a couple of systems, so I could play those in multiplayer on System Link. Down here we have Sega Saturn games. Back in the day when everybody played PlayStation, I played Sega Saturn, and I never regretted it. It's an awesome system with a lot of great exclusives. Down here we have the Nintendo 64, and I actually got myself some of those plastic cases for the more valuable ones, so they don't age so easily basically. Yeah, Nintendo 64, great system as well. And down here we have the Sega Mega Drive. I don't own a lot of these, but the ones I do own I still enjoy. I play them every once in a while, especially stuff like Super Shinobi and others. And back there in the corner at the very right, we gotta go back there, it's some Gizmondo games, very obscure handheld system that I also do own. Up here you can see some of my oldest games, which are of course old Atari games, which is like the oldest system ever. A friend of mine actually dug those out of his basement and gave them to me a couple of years ago. Those are almost as old as me. And after that there's probably my biggest collection of games, and that is Xbox 360. And that is probably the system I played the most with over the years, because there were just so many great games. And as I said before, I just like multiplayer games, especially when you can play on different displays, and the System Link option made that very easy on Xbox 360. So I own multiple systems, and games like Halo and some racing games I own like 4 or 5 times. Gears of War as well. Oh, down here, this is embarrassing. This is Victoria's Time to Shine for Xbox 360 Connect. I got those for like less than $1 a piece, but I had to take a whole box, so those are in my collection. Up here, those are my handheld consoles. I guess I do own between 60 and 70 different game consoles. Yeah, NES, Super NES Mini as well, and Gizmondo. Yeah, it's quite a few different systems. Some of them are not even here. Like my 3DS games, my 3DS consoles are all in a big box because I like to be able to carry them around. Yeah, weird stuff like Dreamcast maracas, you just saw those, and down here is my GameCube collection. Not a lot of games, but I actually enjoyed the GameCube quite a bit as well. And down here, weird stuff like bongo controllers and a lot of different Guitar Hero controllers. You're gonna see that I own a lot of instruments for different music games, like this one right here, which is called the Iron Drum Rocker for the Xbox 360. I still want an adapter for this, and for the Xbox One. Down there, those are metal dance platforms, I guess you could call them, for games like Dancing Stage and others. The walls are filled up with stuff because I couldn't fit it all anywhere else, basically, so I just usually take a nail and hang it on the walls. Down here, yeah, this gets a little messy. I just stuffed a lot of things in there. More Guitar Hero controllers, a Master System, some books about games, some special editions, like up here Ni no Kuni 2, which is like one of the newest additions to my game room, and I haven't even played it yet. And back here, this is like one of my favorite places. I just think this Super Mario wall looks so awesome. Those are basically wall decals, stickers, whatever you want to call them. And yeah, that was quite a big project. Up there, there's a projector, and I can pull down. I have no idea what it is called in English. The thing where you project stuff on. I can pull that down, and I also have a newer projector that I like to carry around for work, and sometimes I hook it up. Yeah, but this wall is awesome, and it's been here for like almost 10 years, and the stickers still stay on the wall, which is amazing to me. And right here, oh wait, this wall is interesting because there's still room on it, so I can actually still fit some more stuff on here. Up here, there's a lot of amiibos, amiibos, and here we have 4 displays with 4 chairs. All of these chairs have like speakers in them, and the displays are all hooked up to Nintendo Switches. So basically, I can play Mario Kart and other Nintendo games with 4 people at any time. I mean, with 3 of my friends. There is an Xbox One in the Minecraft design. Up here there is a 4K display, which I rarely use. We usually just play on those chairs and with those displays. Yeah, well, that's the multiplayer room. And let's go back and go into my... I shouldn't call it the single player room, the other room basically. And here I keep the newer games and some obscure stuff as well. As you can see, these walls are filled with things as well. Big editions and collector's editions of different games. And up here we have like really weird stuff like the Nintendo e-reader and all of the games that are available for it. But I'm never going to unpack those. Up there, there's Xbox One, followed by PlayStation 4, and actually lately I collected a lot of those limited run games, because like big releases don't interest me as much as they used to. So PlayStation 4, and also down here PlayStation Vita. I usually buy limited run games which come out, yeah, as a limited run. And now there's PlayStation 3. I know it doesn't really fit here, but Yeah, I gotta reorganize one day. And after that, there is Nintendo 3DS. I believe I actually own 8 Nintendo 3DS and 2DS systems, but you haven't seen them because they're all in a box. Nintendo Wii U, great system, totally underrated. I wish more people would have played it, but yeah, now they get the chance on Nintendo Switch. Should have played it like 5 years ago, as I did. The Atari Lynx, I actually don't own the system anymore because it croaked on me, but I still have a couple of games, most of them still sealed. PlayStation 1, as I said before, back in the day when everybody played PlayStation 1, I played Sega Saturn, but I still managed to gather a couple of games. And oh yeah, Neo Geo Pocket Color, some Pokemon mini games, really weird stuff basically. And down here, this is my Nintendo Switch collection. And as you can see, I own a couple of games up to 4 times in order to be able to play them with my friends in the other room, like Mario Kart, Splatoon 2, Puyo Puyo Tetris, and some other things. Alright, up here you can see a small arcade cabinet for the Nintendo Switch with which my brother printed out on his 3D printer, and I really like this thing. I'm going to have to ask him. I'm going to have to ask him to print more of those. Gonna have to ask him. Damn, English is hard. Now I missed the part where you could see my PSP collection, which was protected by the Joker and Batman. And down here, stuff gets messy. In those big toolboxes, I have all of my 3DSs. I work with kids, and sometimes I just like to carry all those portable systems with me so we can play together. Down here, there's a modded Xbox with basically LED lights, 2 Sega Mega Drives, or Genesis as it was called in the US. A couple of old PlayStations, weird controllers. This console down here, I cannot even put into words what it is, but it only came out in Europe. And up here we have 8 guitars for different music games like Guitar Hero or Rock Band, and the Rock Band series is still amazing to me. Yeah, and this is where I sit when I play games, on this TV. And the TV in this room, the big one, I mean it's quite huge, but it's not a 4K TV, it's just a full HD TV, but that never really mattered to me. Back in the corner you can see a PlayStation VR headset, Master Chief helmet, which came with the Halo 3 Legendary Edition, I believe. And here there's only 2 consoles hooked up permanently, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. This thing is quite interesting. This is basically a portable display down here. I can just put in any console and just carry it around with me and hook it up. And I mean, I still have to get to a wall and basically hook it up there, but it's great fun. This is the last room I'm gonna show you in my apartment. These are just DVDs and Blu-rays, my movie collection, but that's not what this is about. I'm gonna show you some more games. And yeah, basically up here you can see a lot of Android toys, some dance mats for dancing stage and everything else. Up there we have an Atari, Wii in the original box, Wii Mini and Nintendo 64, NES in the original box, and down there's a PlayStation Virtual Boy, PlayStation TFT display. Yeah, but I'm actually such a mad collector that isn't even enough. A lot of stuff I had to put behind that door in the basement. and I'm not gonna show you that because it is too messy. And even where I hang my clothes to dry, there's a Dreamcast display. I guess there's not a lot of people who can actually play Dreamcast while they are doing their laundry, but I can, and it's still awesome, and I love it because I'm not quite right in the head. Alright, so I guess that's it for today. I hope you had fun watching all of this, and I hope you found a couple of things interesting that you want to get for your collection. And if you check in again, I'm gonna show you what's in this big box. This is actually the most expensive thing I ever bought for my collection, and I hope it is also the best thing. And so, if you want to see what's in here, check back, subscribe, like, do whatever. See ya!
Put the gun down.
I saw you with the box. What was in the box?
Because I envy your normal life.
Put the gun down, David.
It seems that envy is my sin.
No, what's in the box?
Not till you give me the
What's
gun.
in the fucking box?
Give me the gun.